If proof were needed of just how important, yet how far away a peace deal in Gaza is, it was there in the bloody aftermath of an Israeli attack in the central town of Khan Yunis. 38 people were reported killed, at least 13 were children. It makes for distressing viewing, I'm afraid. Once again, the World Health Organization says one of the few functioning hospitals in northern Gaza is being overwhelmed and needs protection from Israeli action.
The children of Gaza are wakened in the night to the sounds of war all around them. But this time the explosions reached the home of this little girl. "My whole house came down," she says. Her father tries to calm her, to treat her wounds. "I can't sit, Daddy, I can't," she says. Her brother is in the hospital bed beside her. The wounded keep coming. The world is becoming familiar with the names of Gaza's towns and cities from each time they're hit by an Israeli strike. Today it was Khan Yunis, a residential building. We see the grief, we hear the cries, we witness the bodies pulled from rubble and taken to hospital. But this is the silent aftermath. There used to be life here. The IDF say they targeted Hamas in this strike, dismantling infrastructure and eliminating fighters from the group. There are images of little children killed. 2 have been placed together in a body bag here, too graphic to show. This man says his younger brother, who was 17, and his little sister, aged 15, were both killed. "This is our life here," he says. At the other end of the Gaza Strip, in the north, Kamal Adwan Hospital is one of just 2 left functioning. The director here posted this video where he says they are now surrounded by IDF soldiers and that the hospital has been hit by tank shells. The IDF denies this version of events. They say their troops are operating in the area based on intelligence they have about the presence of Hamas fighters. The World Health Organization sent a delegation to the hospital last night to evacuate patients. This is what they said today.
The emergency wards was overflowing, and we saw numerous patients being brought in and horrific trauma patients. We also saw hundreds of people in every corner of the hospital seeking shelter. And we want to stress again, this hospital, it needs to be protected.
At a meeting in London today, America's top diplomat Antony Blinken talked about Gaza's humanitarian crisis. The Jordanian foreign minister put it in more blunt terms, calling it ethnic cleansing.
The humanitarian situation is really difficult. We look at northern Gaza now, where we do see ethnic cleansing taking place, and that has got to stop.
After 2 months without negotiations, this weekend there will be new talks about a possible ceasefire and the release of Israel's hostages still being held in Gaza. A glimmer of hope that the suffering could end. But for those trapped inside Israel's war on Hamas, it is hard to see beyond just surviving the night. Peter Smith, News at 10, Tel Aviv.